Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the LA Biz SOS podcast, where we fight to keep Louisiana businesses in Louisiana and shine a highlight on owners, their stories, and the decisions that shape our main streets. Today's episode is called The Hidden Cost of Keeping It Local. Everybody loves the idea of buying a small business. Everybody loves the idea of supporting local, shopping local, but very few people talk honestly about what it costs financially, emotionally, and structurally to keep ownership local when outside buyers are circling. And I'm not talking about theory, I'm talking about what I'm going through right now as I work to finance my first acquisition. First, let's start with something that Geg Goudry, former Shell executive and Louisiana philanthropist, once said. Our country's true capitalism model literally requires charitable giving for it to be sustainable. Now, that line hits different when you're in the middle of a deal because buying a local business isn't just a financial transaction, it's a moral one. When you keep a business locally owned, you're not just buying cash flow, you're buying responsibility. Responsibility for local jobs, responsibility for the seller's legacy, responsibility for the community that depends on that business. And that responsibility has a cost. Now, banks don't underwrite community impact, they underwrite numbers. But the seller, the employees, the town, they're underwriting in me and you if you're acquiring a business. That's the hidden cost that nobody really talks about and that we want to highlight at Save Our Shops Louisiana. And why is Louisiana worth fighting for? Jim Bernard, founder at the Shaw Group, once said, Louisiana is an excellent place to start and sustain a business. And I believe that he's right. We have culture, we have grit, we have loyalty, we have communities that rally around their own. But here's the tension. Louisiana is also a place where outside buyers see opportunity. And when they buy a business here, the ownership and often the profits leave the state. After all, they probably would have the same cost reduction plans that I would. Buy more than one business, and you're able to save by consolidating processes such as accounting, marketing, and other administrative functions. That's why keeping it local matters. These administrative functions, so combined, they should be combined here in Louisiana instead of out of state. And listen, I'm not anti growth, I'm not anti investment, but when ownership stays here, the benefits stay here. Those benefits are the jobs stay here, decisions stay community focused, legacy stays intact, money circulates locally instead of interstate. That's the real return on investment, the community return on investment. So, let me pull back the curtain a little bit on the deal that I've been working on. And again, I'm under an NDA. I can't get into a lot of details, but at this point, I have already structured the offer and made it, talked and submitted the paperwork to various lenders. And now it's figuring out how to protect the seller's legacy during the transition. It's making the numbers work without putting the business or myself at a huge amount of risk. And the truth is, local buyers often have a harder time getting financing than outside investors. And why is that? Well, because outside investors come with a bigger balance sheet or more capital, more collateral, more deal history. Whereas local buyers from within the community, they have those community ties, they have local knowledge, they have a commitment to keep the business rooted. Banks don't have a line item for commitment. So we have to get creative. I have to get creative. As opposed to traditional lending, there needs to be seller involvement. potentially earnouts, performance-based structures, layered financing. That's where the deal becomes less about spreadsheets and more about trust between me and the seller, the buyer and the seller, trust between the lender and me, or the lender and you as the borrower, and trust between the business and the community. This is also one of the huge benefits of being local and keeping it local, buying local. Boise Bollinger, one of Louisiana's respected business leaders, has spent decades reinvesting in the same communities that built his shipbuilding empire. His philanthropy is a reminder that legacy is not sentimental, legacy is strategic. And when a seller chooses a local buyer, they're choosing the continuity, the stability, the familiarity, and the cultural alignment. And that's worth something. But again, it has a cost because legacy buyers don't always offer the highest price. They'll offer the right price, the price that keeps the business alive. That's the right price. Uh, just everyone getting on board and aligning is often the most difficult aspect of the Save Our Shops mission. I think there's a moment in the acquisition journey, in every acquisition journey, when the mindset shifts from, man, I hope this works, to here's how we structure this so everyone can sleep at night. And that's where I'm at right now, putting together the training plans and the transition plan with the new, or with the seller, to me as the new owner. And if you're a Louisiana business owner listening to this, or someone who's thinking about selling, making the transition, here's some of the questions that you should ask a buyer, or ask me, and that have been asked of me. Will you keep the business local? Are you planning on flipping it, for example, or moving it to another location? What happens to my employees? What's your plan over the next 5 years for my legacy, my business? How will you protect what I built? Are you buying this business, or are you just buying cash flow? And because these questions matter because your business is more than a profit and loss. It's a piece of Louisiana. And that's a big part of our mission again at Save Our Shops. And that's what we're all about. Not just buying a business, not just financing a deal, but protecting Louisiana's identity, one Main Street business at a time. So if you care about keeping Louisiana businesses in Louisiana, if you've ever wondered what it really takes to buy a small business, or if you're an owner who wants an exit that protects your people, this podcast is for you. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this with your network. So follow along as I work to finance my first acquisition and build a network of local owners who refuse to let our shops disappear. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next episode.